Have you ever watched a character for years, followed their heartbreak, their tragedies, their darkest moments, only to discover they've been hiding in plain sight all along? Because what Coronation Street fans have just uncovered has left viewers completely stunned. And once you see it, you may never look at Daniel Osbourne the same way again. Because before he became one of Weatherfield's most tortured characters, before the grief, before the scandals, before the devastating battles that nearly destroyed his life, Rob Mallard was living an entirely different life, in a completely different village. And fans are only just realizing it now. Welcome back to Coronation Street Update, your home for all the latest Corrie drama, theories, secrets and behind-the-scenes shocks. And today's discovery has sent soap fans into absolute meltdown. Because one forgotten Emmerdale storyline has suddenly resurfaced. And viewers cannot believe who they've spotted. But before we reveal exactly why fans are losing their minds, we need to talk about Daniel Osbourne. Because few characters in Coronation Street have suffered as much emotional trauma as he has. From the very beginning, Daniel's life has been marked by abandonment. His mother walked away. His family fractured. And despite being the son of legendary Corrie icon Ken Barlow, Daniel has spent much of his life searching for stability, searching for belonging, searching for happiness. But every time he gets close, everything seems to fall apart. And perhaps the most devastating chapter of all came with Sinead, the love of his life, the woman who changed everything. Their relationship became one of Coronation Street's most emotional stories. A story built on love, hope, family, and dreams for the future. Until tragedy struck. Sinead's heartbreaking cancer battle left viewers in tears. And when she died, Daniel's world collapsed around him. Suddenly he was left alone. A grieving husband. A devastated father. A broken man trying desperately to raise young Bertie while carrying unimaginable pain. But if fans thought life would eventually become easier for Daniel, they were wrong. Because the suffering never stopped. The scandals kept coming. The accusations intensified. And the emotional pressure became almost unbearable. But then everything changes. Recently, Daniel found himself trapped in one of the most disturbing storylines Weatherfield has seen in years. A storyline involving manipulation, fear, suspicion, and public humiliation. His connection to Megan Walsh placed him under intense scrutiny. Questions were asked. Rumors spread. And before Daniel even had time to defend himself, the situation spiraled out of control. Then came another devastating blow. His confrontation with Hope Dobbs. A moment of anger. A moment of frustration. A single incident that would trigger consequences nobody could have predicted. Daniel was suspended. His reputation suffered. And just when things seemed impossible to get worse, someone was secretly working behind the scenes. Someone determined to destroy him. Jody Ramsey. While Daniel struggled to hold his life together, a vicious online hate campaign was allegedly being orchestrated against him. The attacks kept growing. The pressure mounted. And Daniel found himself becoming increasingly isolated. Until the truth finally exploded into the open. And when Daniel discovered who was responsible, the consequences were devastating. But while viewers were focused on Daniel's latest nightmare, something else was happening online. Something nobody expected. And that's when things take a darker and stranger turn. Soap fans began revisiting old Emmerdale episodes. Old clips. Old storylines. Moments many viewers had completely forgotten. Then suddenly, someone noticed a familiar face. A face they had seen for years on Coronation Street. A face they instantly recognized. Rob Mallard. Only this wasn't Daniel Osbourne. Not even close. This was Connor Jensen, a character from Emmerdale. And the discovery has absolutely blown fans away. Back in 2015, long before Daniel Osbourne arrived on Coronation Street, Rob Mallard played Connor Jensen in a storyline filled with deception and manipulation. Connor wasn't a victim. He wasn't the grieving father viewers know today. Instead, he was caught up in a dangerous scheme. A calculated plot involving seduction, blackmail, secrets, and betrayal. The character became involved in Robert Sugden's explosive plans. A storyline packed with tension and hidden agendas. And now fans looking back at those scenes are struggling to believe what they're seeing. Because the transformation is remarkable. The same actor. The same face. yet an entirely different person. An entirely different world. And viewers simply cannot get over it. One fan admitted the discovery completely blew their mind. Another joked about the unexpected chemistry between Connor Jensen and Robert Sugden. Others confessed they had rewatched those episodes countless times without ever making the connection. Think about that for a moment. Years of watching Coronation Street. Years of watching Emmerdale. And somehow, one of soap's most recognizable faces remained hidden in plain sight. It's fascinating how our brains work. Once an actor becomes associated with an iconic role, we struggle to see anything else. Daniel Osbourne became so deeply embedded in viewers' minds that Connor Jensen effectively disappeared from memory. Till now. And perhaps that's the greatest compliment an actor can receive. The ability to completely transform. To become someone else so convincingly that audiences forget who they once were. But could this rediscovery also explain why Daniel feels so layered as a character? Why viewers remain emotionally invested in him despite all his mistakes? Why audiences continue supporting him even during his darkest moments? Because Rob Mallard has always excelled at portraying complicated men. Men carrying secrets. Men making questionable choices. Men battling emotional turmoil. And that talent was visible long before he arrived on Coronation Street. But that may not be the whole truth. Because fans revisiting these old clips have now started discussing something even more interesting. What if Daniel Osbourne's future becomes even darker? What if the recent hate campaign leaves deeper psychological scars than viewers realize? What if his latest trauma pushes him towards another breaking point? After everything he's endured, could Daniel finally be reaching the limits of what he can take? Or will he once again find a way to survive? One thing is certain. This unexpected Emmerdale discovery has reminded fans just how talented Rob Mallard really is. And judging by the online reaction, people can't stop talking about it. But now we want to hear from you. Did you recognize Rob Mallard from Emmerdale? Did you remember Connor Jensen before this revelation? And do you think Daniel Osbourne's current storyline is leading toward an even bigger shock? Drop your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Coronation Street drama, spoilers, theories and breaking soap news. Thanks for watching Coronation Street Update. Remember, in Soapland, the biggest secrets are often hiding right in front of us.